New information regarding Heartland serial killer Robert Brashers. Following our exclusive reporting last night on the effort to track his past movements, some of you asked for more details, including where Brashers was born and where he grew up. According to family, Brashers was born in 1958 in Newport News, Virginia, and raised in Huntsville, Alabama, although he actually graduated from high school in South Bend, Indiana. In the early to mid-'80s, Brashers lived and worked in Huntsville, New Orleans, and Fort Myers, Florida. Then in the late 80s to early 90s, he moved around quite a bit, living in Georgia, Alabama again, and in Greenville, South Carolina, where he murdered Genevieve Zitricki. Finally, Brashers spent the last 2 years of his life, 1997 to 1999, living in Paragould, Arkansas. Now, investigators across multiple states, including Missouri, are working to track Brashers' past movements to see if the serial killer may be connected to any other cold cases. The effort started shortly after authorities in Austin, Texas, named him as the prime suspect in the 1991 murders of 4 teenage girls, known as the Yogurt Shop murders. If you think you know anything about Brashers, you'll find a number to call along with my full report at KFES12.com.